Hi there everyone, and welcome to today's fringe. The idea behind today's fringe is giving you a little bit of a tuck through the center front and a little bit of a kick through the side. So if you will, like a 60s, 70s kind of mix of textures within the fringe. Let's jump right in. So today's fringe, as I mentioned, is going to be about having that little tuck through the front, making it look a little bit rounder on the side profile, and then having a few little sort of kicks, little wings on the side, just elongating the eyes, giving a bit more width to the face shape, and just sort of allowing the fringe itself to fall naturally into the hair. Again, just exposing more sort of your cheekbones and eye areas as well. So that's always a nice little detail to this kind of fringe and a nice way to do it. So clients come in, as an example, they want a whole new look, they want a different fringe, maybe something that's not too crazy, too much, but they want something that's different and exciting. Fringes maybe always have been a bit sort of stronger or even long and sweeping, so let's work a fringe that will complement their hairstyle and actually have something which is quite nice and complementary around the face, exposing different shadowings over the nose and giving a bit more width to the face as well. This is one I like to do on a lot of my clients. So as an example, clients come in, just had a very simple haircut, one length, a little bit of layer around the front, very sort of soft layers. You will see a lot of haircuts in my collections regarding these kind of techniques, so feel free to look at those and jump through the content. But today is just about working on this fringe. So I want to show you just the details in the short video about the fringe itself. I'm going to move the mannequin forward so you get a much closer view on what we're doing. So if I do go out of camera, again, apologies, but I think the focus here is on the fringe itself. So fringe in place, we're all ready to rock and roll. Here we go. We've gone through the section off, our standard diagonal forward partings, working into a triangle. So utilizing the curvature of the head and then the widest point as well. Usually around the recession areas is quite key for this kind of fringe. It just works really well to give you a very nice natural contour around the front of the head, follow the head shape and then push out to the side. So to do this fringe, we will go through and subdivide in half, straight the way across. The depth of these fringes, or these sections, is really important. So as you work through this front area, always try to think about having the top just ever so slightly thicker than the section below. That way, when you're working this parting, you can start to see, if I just move around, there we go, just horizontally straight across, all the way through, again, on both sides. So just horizontal parting. This will create two sections, the one above and the one below. We're going to work on the one below first. So with the one on top, we're going to clip that out of the way. I always like to use small clips when I'm working on the fringe, just so there's less going on around the face shape. From this area, we will go through and we will comb down. Importantly here, we want to work this quite square. So within the shape itself, I'm going to comb down and I'm going to point cut just very close to my fingers. The reason for this, I want this to be a nice heavy blunt line. So I don't want to go through and create a lot of texture. I don't want to cut it blunt because I do want to allow for the jumps and the movement. So again, as we go through this area, we comb down straight. Our fingers are square. We're square to work through. And we're going to point cut all the way through to the edges. Just that nice point cut, back and forth, removing as much length as possible. We can take a little corner off through here, just so it sits a little bit squarer. But the idea of this point cut is to maintain maximum density and maximum weight, but still give enough texture within the fringe that it allows the shape to move or the perimeter to be a little bit softer as well. So just working back and forth with the point cut. A classic point cut you'll find, which you'll work on your clients, and a classic point cut, but again through here, within the fringe, we just want to be that little bit thicker, that little bit smaller. So we're just breaking up, really, if you will, that heavy line. So I'm going to comb forward, just have a little look, have a little check the shape, make sure I'm happy. I've got a little bit more in this corner. Let me go take that off. Always do want to check as much as we can directly in front of our clients. That way we can have, again, a really solid shape to see. With me, I'm happy. Oh, little corner through here. Just that little corner. There we go. There we go, nice solid fringe all the way across, just nice and square. So working to the bridge of the nose, working to the eyebrows, that kind of length is perfect for this fringe. It just allows us to really see or have a little peek with the eyes, just peering out from underneath. We are going to leave length over the top now that you'll see, so it's a nice way to work that kind of length. So taking off the clip, we are now going to subdivide this section in half. But instead of coming across, we're going to be working vertically, so straight down the center. We will subdivide. I've got some hair from behind. Let me move that out of the way. There we go. We're working vertically straight down the center. If there's a natural parting, if there's a natural parting or any details and specifics that you need to work with, absolutely fine. If not, just work straight down the center, nice and easy. Okay. So I'm going to take a guide from the center where the parting reaches, don't know what that was, where the parting reaches the section underneath. I'm going to comb the section on top across at a rough 45-degree angle. What I'm looking for when I'm doing this is that the section I've taken below the hair here, the middle of the section below, is in the center of the section I'm combing over. So from here, I'm going to comb over, find it through the center. As I can see when I comb that up, it's right here. I'm then going to point cut across this line. I'm going to work a little bit deeper with my point cut. So my point cut now becomes more of a natural point cut. The reason being, what I've created now is a shorter area through the top and a longer area on the side. So I've got an overhang and I've got a short section through the front. When I go to move this around, you will start to see that fringe will sit rounded with a shorter area and then longer and kick out from the sides. Let me show that again on this other side. So here we go. We're going to come forward through to the front. I will move the section out of the way, the top section I've just worked. Take a guide from the section below. So just pinch a section from the bottom part of the fringe. This will give me a guide to length. I will comb the section above. As we can see here, the section above across at that 45. Ooh. Drop the comb, don't need it, I'm already there, which is perfect. Got the section, I'm going to point cut straight up. Comb it to the center, grab my spare comb, and off we go. So as you can see now when I comb this forward, I've got my kick on both sides, and when I turn the hair to the side, this is a great way vision for it. You can see the kick clearly, and then also I've got that little roundness now happening when that moves through the front. So within this shape, I've got a beautiful fringe, got little bits of kick on the sides, a little bit of roundness through the front, and you will see a beautiful result in a second. So I'm going to go through now and just dry the fringe. You'll see me go through to blow dry. I'm going to put a little bit of product in, a bit of a blow dry lotion just to help me get a bit more hold to it. I'm not going to put too much emphasis on drying that round. I'm just going to be very soft, very natural. I'm going to let the fringe do the work itself, and you'll see just those natural kicks happening. It is an organic kind of shape of the fringe. And then as I bring the hair forward, you will then see that all incorporate together. So here we go. Let's get ready to dry. I'll see you back in a second. As you can see, the blow dry has been placed in. No extra detailing. I've got my beautiful kicks on the sides and that beautiful roundness in that fringe. When I turn to the side here, you can just start to see when I put a little bit of product in that, how that will just come up, round, and sit just beautifully square. So just a beautiful result on the fringe. On a final result. So when I pull the hair out, I can then start to just shake the hair forward for my client. Nice little set, nice little wave. Beautiful little fringe. Let me push those two together. And to work. So incorporated now with the final result and the final finish, you can just see how that fringe just naturally blends in to the curl, to the movements, as if you're working with curl, if you're working with straight hair, contrasting textures as well. It's just a beautiful way to create a beautiful fringe on a client, and as you saw, very effortless and very easy. I hope you like the technique of this fringe. I hope you like the idea behind it. There's more in many videos, so please check out the channel. Like, subscribe, and if you want to see anything detailed, any specific cuts or fringes or techniques, please leave a comment below and I'll gladly get to that. Stay well, stay creative, and I look forward to seeing you in another video.